welcome in. If you are tuning in, this is the second episode of my brand new podcast, Baby Nugget Witch. This episode is called Stopping the Cycle and Self-Sabotage. There are many reasons why we do self-sabotage. Low self-esteem, perfectionism, fear of success, fear of failure, procrastination, the need for control, imposter syndrome, and it can go along with unhealthy relationship beliefs. First, let's get started. What do you think of when you hear self-sabotage? What does it mean to you? The definition of self-sabotage is when people do or don't do things that prevent them from being successful or going after their goal or having something that they want. Not only can self-sabotage affect your personal relationships, but it can also affect you professionally as well. This is something that is very common in people and can affect their mental health and make other mental health issues spiral. One of the biggest reasons of self-sabotage is that we feel that what we say in our minds are dark, deep, dirty truths or lack of truths. People's perceptions of us are real. That is where our low self-esteem comes in, and when we try to just destroy everything around us because we already feel we are worthless or not good enough, that it is inevitable in that aspect. You may even end up behaving in those ways that can confirm your negative beliefs about yourself. And the minute when things start to go right, a little bit too good, it's like you're almost afraid that things are going to work out because you were told or believe or have felt this way that you were meant to fail or things are meant to fail in your life and around you. So you, excuse my French, fuck it up before it gets the chance to really play out the way that it's supposed to. Being good enough also ties into perfectionism. When you feel like things have to be done perfectly, you put pressure on yourself to do everything perfectly. Maybe your partner or your parents or your teachers or your friends put this pressure on you to do things a certain way because of their own perfectionism insecurities as well. This can also be an illusion. Nobody is putting this pressure on you but you. Some things that can also lead to self-sabotage is lack of self-care. And I will be doing a podcast about self-care very soon because I feel like a lot of you guys could use the different ways to perform self-care. Procrastination can also be a really big reason why we self-sabotage. Procrastination can also be a form of self-sabotage. Pushing things back, telling yourself I'll do it tomorrow, not feeling good enough because of the other fears or worries, fears of success, meaning that you already feel like you're gonna mess it up and you're scared of what that success can bring, or just fear of failure that you don't want to try, so you shut down the ideas you have before even giving them a chance to breathe. We also have a need for control, so if things aren't going your way, or you feel like you're losing that control, maybe, again, this can go into things with parents, with friends. Maybe you were controlled a lot. Maybe you didn't have a lot of control in your life and growing up, and that's kind of where that feeling comes from. Imposter syndrome is a really big one as well because it's almost like we don't give ourselves permission to grow and change. We fit ourselves in this mold that make us feel like this is all or who we can ever be. And even then, we tell ourselves maybe that's a fake version of us. I'm an imposter. I'm a fraud. We don't allow ourselves to play around with different versions of ourselves. We just go to the one that feels most comfortable, the toxic, the dark, the sad, the victim in us, and we self-sabotage into the villain. We also can have a fear of commitment because this can go deeper into other issues. Again, the main one can be self-sabotage. It can also go in fear of abandonment, and it cycles back around to self-esteem, not being good enough to be loved, not wanting to settle or being scared to settle, wanting to find the next good thing, the next shiny object in and out of relationships, staying somewhere for security. Even doing something like staying in a commitment that isn't good for you is a form of self-sabotage, because you know that you deserve better subconsciously, but your mind is telling you that anywhere else you go, nobody will love you, nobody will want you, that you're not good enough. And we self-sabotage and endure this because we feel like we deserve it. Something that we should look out for as a red flag for ourselves and for our loved ones is self-medication. This is a result of self-sabotage, but can continue to spiral. You're just wanting that feeling to go away. You want to feel numb. You want to feel that euphoric feeling high. So drugs and alcohol are included into this. You realize you're getting bad, and instead of wanting to own up to it, you want to drown it out. A really big reason is unhealthy relationship beliefs. Now, this stems from childhood. How we were talked to by parents or guardians is how we subconsciously talk to ourselves. We carry that with us. We also reflect that onto the people that are closest to us. Friends, other family members, spouses. Also, what we witnessed. If you watch a parent or, again, a guardian who self-sabotaged a lot, constantly chose the wrong path, not putting into yourself because of lack of motivation or not enough drive, because of that spiral of how self-sabotage can make you do things that are worse for you. Watching that can be a big key factor in how we were raised and where our mind goes when things around us start to crumble. It is very possible to break the cycle, but it is a hard one to break. Also, relationship views for parents. If one of them self-sabotaged in their relationship, cheating, drugs, abuse, leaving, constantly making mistakes that were witnessed by the children. Childhood experiences can really contribute to self-sabotage in our adult lives. Perfectionism, parents, guardians setting unrealistic expectations for their children and really punishing them when they didn't get to what they felt was perfect. Growing up in a dysfunctional family, and we have an attachment style. If you were not attached to your family, if you constantly felt like you wanted to run away or hang out with friends or just be away from your family, you are growing in avoidant style. So now, when people get close to you because you had to live in this very flight or fight survival mode type of a childhood, you can detach very easily because in your mind, what else do you have to lose? And then childhood trauma, physical abuse, emotional abuse, sexual abuse. Self-sabotage can be a way to cope with these intense emotions that we never really got to process or never felt heard. Now, what are some ways that we can start to break this cycle? And no, it isn't overnight, but these are some things that you can really work on. Identifying your triggers, mindfulness of your self-talk when you catch a thought that isn't yours, that came from rude words from adults in the past. Practice self-compassion, allowing yourself to make mistakes. Nobody is perfect. Everybody makes mistakes. Recognize the situations, the people, the emotions that lead to our self-sabotaging behavior, and become aware and reach out for help before you get to that point. Thank you so much. I would like to do an exiting cleanse to end this off. Take a deep breath in through your nose, out of your mouth. You are loved, you are supported, and you are protected. Take another deep breath in and out. Thank you. Mwah.